Ah, so you want me to look at you and not in the camera, so that's better, right?
Yeah.
Sound is okay. Super. Wisdom.
Yeah.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi. Well, I'm Jacco Fock. I'm Chief Innovation at Petrom. Petrom is part of OMV. It's an integrated oil and gas company, and as such, I'm really interested in digitalization. And this is all about digitalization. And so,
Okay. What are the steps OMV Petrom is currently taking in terms of digitalization?
what kind of steps? Well, lots of steps, really. I think there's like three main steps. One is we're really renovating our core. We're really looking at what is our base IT architecture, how is it supporting digitalization, you know, what should we be investing to be really ready for supporting all sort of business applications. Step two is then those business applications. So a lot of applications in the business, like automation of drilling, all sort of machine learning in refineries, all sort of applications that build on that data architecture and that help our business to be more effective and agile. And then step three, which is not the least one, and not either one of them is sort of 1, 2, or 3. But step three is the people. So making people more digitally dexterous, more skillful, more like a data mindset. That is, so those three are the main steps we're taking, and we're doing that. The business application is more business driven. The base architecture is more driven on a corporate level, and of course the people programs also are driven on a corporate level with specific things in every business.
Okay, and what are the main projects? Okay. What are the main projects OMV Petrom is currently working on in this sphere?
The main projects. Well, we have a number of interesting projects. It's also part of my presentation. One is we're creating a dashboard in the refinery that shows us one version of the truth across all refinery operations. It shows us the refinery economics, but most notably, it helps us to play a little bit with the future. It helps us to, because it's a predictive algorithm, it builds on the data that was there in the past and it predicts the future. And then you say, okay, so if you do what you always do, then this is your output. If you do what you did last time, this is what you got. But if you do the best thing that I as an AI would suggest you, then this would be the outcome. And so you can play a little bit with the forecast of the future. In that sense, it helps you with your decision making. And I give 4 examples of that kind of a machine-assisted decision making. Another one is, for instance, a predictive algorithm for upstream production, which is also a machine learning algorithm, which is now already in version 3, which is very interesting to see. And there the challenge is not so much, can we find a fantastic algorithm to do it? But there it's more like, can we get the people to actually work with it? To sort of let go of their Excel files that are also built up over the years. And of course have a lot of knowledge in them. But how do you get people to switch and trust the algorithm? So that's another one. In downstream, what we're doing there is we're looking at transactional data, all sort of data of our gas stations and our shops. And there we'll look at, so for instance, something, what if we increase the coffee price? What happens? Do people go for another place to get coffee, or do they feel it's a higher quality maybe, or there's all sort of things that people can do. And so we play a little bit, so we take all historical data and we start predicting again what would happen if the coffee price changes, because we did that in the past as well and we know what happened. And then the algorithm then predicts which gas stations would benefit from which coffee price change. And it's really helpful in making it very, very agile, very fast decision making on what kind of things to change in our shops and our retail stations.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And could you please tell me what do you do to educate your people to become more digital?
Yeah, it's lots of things. So we're starting a digital academy, which I guess is sort of the heavy canon. This is where we have, okay, we're starting a data science academy, we're starting all sort of deep dives on AI, on machine learning and things like that. But the general audience is a bit the first wave that we need to do. Actually, we do things in parallel. But the first thing I did is organize master classes. And I actually invited a bunch of suppliers and say, Microsoft, Accenture, IBM, the usual suspects, Teradata, they are now coming in for an hour and they explain everything about AI or about chatbots or about video analytics or any of the IoT, blockchain. And so I built out a whole day with all sort of suppliers going for a deep dive in digital. And then I invite hundreds of people just to attend that for one day. And in one day you get a masterclass, you know everything about digitalization that you need to know on, as a normal employee or as a department manager, just to get a bit of a grip on things. Because AI sounds, awful or very interesting depending on your mood, right? But if you know something about it, you go like, then it sounds like an opportunity. So that's what I'm trying to do with the master classes. And so we work on general education and we work on very specific deep dives.
Great, thank you very much. And for us as an organizers, we'll be very interested to know your feedback regarding this Ultima Congress.
Yeah, the feedback on the conference, of course, it's just the morning, and I came in from Munich, so I was here at 10, so it's only like a 3-hour-long impression. Some were really good. I really liked, for instance, the talk from E&I, which was very specific, very concrete, and for integrated oil and gas company that we are, that is good to hear from a peer how they are doing it. Then there was also some presentations that were from suppliers that I felt like, okay, they're sort of giving a display of what they could be doing for us, which I find less interesting. I like to hear from peers that how they're doing, how they're struggling really, also the things that do not work. And those who will listen to my story will also hear me saying like, we don't have anything figured out. This is what we're trying. How are you doing? And those are the kind of exchanges that I like. The coffee breaks are wonderful. This is where you connect to people, and still, despite this whole digital age, it's really about the people still.
Well, we're done.
Yep.
Thank you so
Good.
much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
It was enough?
Yes.
I guess. That's good.
Thank you. That was perfect.
Happy editing.
Thank you.
All right.